Hello guys and welcome back to a new video. While everyone was looking for longs today on NQ, my simple strategy and my approach to read price gave me a short signal that resulted in over 150 points in NQ. Crazy. In this video, I'm gonna show you how I did that step by step, right? So let's not waste any more time, let's get right into it, but make sure to leave a like before we continue. So a lot of traders were looking for longs today on NQ, and for this reason on the daily time frame. You can see that on Tuesday we had a nice pullback to this gap, right, from last week. And what happened after on Wednesday is that we traded to take the previous day low. So Wednesday took previous day low or Tuesday's low, and we have this nice candle. I don't know how they call it, a pin bar, whatever, but this is a bullish sign, a strong bullish sign. We swept the low, we couldn't close below it, and then we closed bullish, right? So everyone was looking for longs from here, right? But that's the theory or the bias from the higher time frame. But do we have the confirmations and the order flow on the lower time frame that confirms that suggests that we're gonna go bullish for this day also on Thursday? Let's take a look. This is on the 1 hour when the daily candle opened right here, all right, at 5 p.m. we started consolidating. Beautiful. So we started having this range. Now when we have a range, ideally you want to see a deviation above it or below it. That's based on your bias. Now when I saw this range, if the daily or the next candle will be bullish after what happened on Wednesday and Thursday, and Tuesday, like I showed you on the daily, ideally I want to see a deviation below the range. So something like this. We have a range, right? And then price trades to the downside, manipulate the sellers and fuel the longs, and then we push higher, right? And we also have a reason to go higher, which is this open imbalance right here. The problem right here is that the opposite thing happened. What happened is that we have a range, or we have a deviation above the range, right? So this is interesting. Now we are bullish on the daily time frame, right, for logical reasons, but the lower time frame is suggesting otherwise. But there's still the chance that we're going to trade below the range also and then long. So for example, we might see something like this. We see it all the time. We have a range and then we have a deviation above it, above the range, manipulate above it, and then manipulate below the range, and then finally taking off. So although this is a bearish sign because we deviated above the range, but we can still be bullish if we deviated below the range and then take off. So we need to wait. We can't short from here yet. But also you can see that this manipulation happened at 8 a.m. right? So this is a sensitive time, equity open 8:30. So this side here is significant, right? This is not just a deviation. This happened at 8:30. Those are the times that manipulations tend to happen, right? But we can still deviate below the range and take off. So we need to study price at the lower time frame. So this is the range. You can see it's pretty simple and easy to see, right? It's clean range. But let's take a look at what happened on the lower time frames. So what happened on the lower time frame is we traded below the range. Now this is where things get interesting, right? This is where you want to study price carefully. After we took the low of the range, right, ideally we want to see a violent reaction and a push to the upside, and this is exactly what happened. After we took the low of the range, we have a push to the upside. We can see it on the 5 minute. We need to go to the 1 minute in order to see it clearly, right? This is exactly what happened. We have a displacement to the upside, right? We have a displacement. The thing is, this displacement, although it is quite energetic, but I don't like what happened above this high right here. People tend to study this displacement from the low to the high and consider it as valid, but I want to see the displacement break above the high, right? And continue that energy, not losing that momentum at the high right here. Even if we have big candles from here, 100-point candle, I don't care. I want to see a strong closure above the highs because we have orders right here. All right, we have sell orders right here. I want to see price breaks above them and stop them out. All right, this is a valid displacement, not just the body but continuation above the high. We don't have that here, right? And what happened after is that we have another displacement. This is an entry model that we discussed, right? When we have a displacement above a high, and then what happens after is that we have another displacement in the other direction. This means that the sellers right here are taking over, right? There was a lot of sells from here that pushed price heavily to the downside. Now, if we are bullish and this is the deviation below the range, basically you don't want to see price break this, right? Or at least don't break it with such energy, and we have that here, right? So this right here is the reason that I went short. So I took an entry from here. I was super lucky with the entry, extremely lucky, guys. I took the entry from here and I took my TP from here. The problem here is that I was super lucky with the entry and the TP. So it doesn't happen all the time. But even if I missed that entry from here, we can basically follow the same framework from here and continue looking for shorts. For example, we have this beautiful range right here, and we have a deviation, above it, right? But see how price lose momentum after taking the shorts, and then we have big moves to the downside. See the candles from here, here, and here, right? Same here. Price is still bearish, so this suggests price is still bearish. But since I took the entry from here, I was done. So let me show you the entry, the lucky entry on NinjaTrader. This is on the 5 minute, right? And you can see on the 1 minute, perfect entry. I took it at this low. I was aiming to take another short from the imbalance from here, so as a layered entry. I didn't have that, and you can see the exit was quite something else, right? Basically, I was aiming at the lows from here, right? Below them, there's an imbalance. I was expecting a reaction when we take that low from here. But this is all for the day. You can see a simple approach, a trading price using candles only, and the nature of price legs, right? It matters. We have a displacement with energy, momentum, but what happened when we traded at the high from here? And what happened after we traded above the high, right? We have another energetic price leg. Everything matters. Dissecting price leg by leg, candle by candle, right? So I hope you like this video. If you have any other questions, you can always DM in my Twitter account or leave a comment down below and I'll answer you as soon as I can. Now, happy trading and good luck.